him a hug. His heart rate was about 220, so I just said, mate, you better settle down a little bit. He was shaking. It was unbelievable.
And why wouldn't you? This was my favourite scene, probably since Blighty left his pack of players after the 94 qualifying final out with the travelling Lions fans. This is 6 straight years in the finals for Chris Fagan's Brisbane side, and it's a 4th prelim in 5 years. This is sustained excellence, and this is the sort of campaign you have to make year after year after year. And again, it's Geelong in a preliminary final, so that's 3 of these now. And Chris Fagan is with us tonight on Coach's Night. Fags, great to have you back on 360. Congratulations and welcome.
Good to be on. Good to still be alive in what's been a fantastic year of footy.
I thought you were talking about your heart rate there. How close was Lachie Neale to how you're feeling?
Lachie was exaggerating, mate. I was well below 60.
What I want to know is which of your players is going to be brave enough to mimic your running style, which will surely be part of folklore with this team now.
Yeah, it's a terrible running style, to be honest. The old knee's not as good as it used to be. I wish I could still run, but there was a whole bunch of fans, Brisbane fans, on the other side of the oval there. We just wanted to get over and acknowledge them. They helped us throughout the game, and yeah, so I broke out into a minor sort of a trot, bit of a waddle, and got over there and enjoyed the moment with them.
Teams to get to a preliminary final are generally just wrapped to get there, Fags. But as Gerard said, it's your 4th one in 5 years. Surely the feeling is that this is, with this group now, this is just a stepping stone.
Oh, we'd like to think that, Robbo. We've got a fantastic team to play against on Saturday in the Geelong Cats, who are, you know, well, we've tried to be like them, to be honest. They've been making finals and prelims for years and years and years to win a couple of flags. So, you know, that's the journey you go on. You know, we always hope that this year is going to be the year, but there's a lot of work still to be done, and we've just got to make sure we come up with a good plan and play with great effort on Saturday night and give ourselves an opportunity.
Do you think you're not better prepared? Do you think you're better placed and have a better balanced team than this time last year?
Yeah, it's really hard to assess that because, you know, I mean, I would have loved to have had Will Ashcroft available last year in the finals, for example, and Jack Payne. We didn't have either of those boys, but you know, it was a pretty good team that we put out there last year. I thought it was a team good enough to win. We didn't quite get there, so I don't know. It's a really hard one to assess. I mean, I'd like to say the answer was yes, but I'm a little uncertain.
What did you do with the players? Did you keep them away today, or did you have them in?
No, they did their own recovery today. I mean, we travel a fair bit during the year, and I thought it was important for them to freshen up. They'll be in first thing in the morning. You know, we reviewed the game pretty much straight afterwards on Saturday night. I was keen to move on. I mean, there was obviously a lot of celebration in the room when you have a win like that. People were pretty excited, and the players were too. But I just wanted to be honest, just wanted to leave it there on Saturday night. I think, you know, you can carry on about one of those wins for way too long. So we debriefed straight after the game. And tomorrow when the players come in, we'll move straight on to Geelong.
What did you want them to take from the review? What did you choose to highlight in the immediate aftermath?
Oh, look, I think that, you know, one of the things in the game is that I know there's a view on us that we need to have a lot of uncontested marks to win, and, you know, the Giants did a good job of taking that away from us, and, you know, we had to play more of a chaos game, a bit like them, and, you know, we were able to do that and come away with a win, albeit a narrow win right at the end. But the great thing is we were able to adapt as a team, and obviously we were able to come to their home ground where they play great footy and win on the road, which is another important part of playing in finals. You know, we don't get to play up here again. I think our record on the road this year has been pretty good. We've won 8 and lost 4 and had a draw, so that's probably the best we've ever been in my time at the club on road trips. We usually win a lot of games at the Gabba, so just wanted to build on those positives that we've had this year, and the fact that we've been through a lot of adversity and a lot of challenge, and we've found a way forward. I think they were the things that I wanted to highlight that hopefully will help us this weekend.
Fags, is there a narrative out there, if not criticism, that you and your coaching group aren't as tactically smart as other coaching groups? Can you give me your philosophies on coaching? And I know that's a long answer maybe, but first of all, how do you react to when people are critical of you and your group? And what is your coaching philosophies? What are your pillars that you set yourself up with?
Yeah, look, I think it's fair enough people could make comments on us, but they don't really know. They're not inside the four walls. And, you know, over the course of the last 6 seasons, I think we've won more games than any other team in the competition. So there can't be a whole lot wrong with us tactically. I mean, we lost some close games, but we've won some close games as well. So it's an interesting one, that one. Just take it on board. Some weeks you do well, some weeks you don't. You know, I thought, for instance, on Saturday night, you know, Kalarchi did a fantastic job on Lockie Whitfield, kept him to 18 possessions. That didn't get mentioned a great deal. You know, Noah Answorth did a terrific job on Daniels. I thought we did the last 2 minutes of the game when we got the lead. We did it extremely well to sort of kill the game. So there were a lot of things I thought that we did right tactically on the night that sort of get overlooked. And I understand there was a bit of criticism around us leaving Jack Payne on Jesse Hogan, and that's fair enough. But we felt that that Harris Andrews would be better served to not play on Jesse and be able to come off and assist Jack Payne. As it turned out, it didn't work out as well as we hoped. But I showed the faith with Jack in the last quarter, and I thought he played particularly well on Hogan in that phase of the game. So we just backed him in, and hopefully he gets confidence out of that from next week for when we play this weekend. My philosophy. Well, there's a lot to it, I suppose, but it's basically built around building relationships with players, having great trust in them, because I think, you know, trust is the highest form of human motivation. I know myself in my life, when I've ever felt trusted by those I work with, I do better work. So that's been a pillar of you know, what we've tried to do, and loyalty is the other thing. I mean, I hang in with guys because I know this game's tough and hard, and it takes a lot of experiences to become really good at it. And you know, this is my 8th year. A lot of those boys have been with us now for that length of time, and you know, the resilience you saw us play with on Saturday night is a reflection of all that hard work we've done over the last 8 years, I think. So, and hopefully, you know, all that resilience helps them in their life as well, because they won't play football forever.
Just to further go on that, Fags, so the belief, I heard you in the post-match on the weekend say, I trust my players, and you just basically said that again. So you trust, you're coached by great belief. Is that a trait of Chris Fagan that he's had his entire life as an adult, or is that a trait that you have learned since you became a senior coach and you've studied how to be a leader of men, and you've studied how to have relationships with men? Is that something that's grown, or it's something that's part of you?
Oh, it's a combination of all of those things, Robbo. I mean, when I played footy, not that I played at any great level, I played in the league down in Tassie, but I just remember those coaches that made a difference to me, and the reasons why they did. And I've always tried to copy them in a way and take the way they coached on board. And
who were
you know,
they?
I was fortunate enough to work with Neil. Oh, well, Paul, you probably remember Paul Sproul. Played for Richmond premiership player. He coached me a lot in Tassie, and he had a huge influence on me. And you know, he'd take me fishing occasionally and talk footy with me, and you know, I would do anything for him. You know, because he took an interest in me. So you know, they're the sort of lessons that you learn. But I also had Neil Danaher, worked with him for 10 years, and Clarko. Learned a lot of lessons off those guys. But you know, all those things help you form your own philosophies. And you know, I've got a teaching background as well, and I've taught a lot of kids, and I can see what happens when you take a real interest in them. So that's what I stick with. It's served me quite well in my life, I think, so I'll keep going with that.
One of your young boys, so Will Ashcroft you referenced, you would love to have had him last year. So second year of footy, my goodness, he looks made for finals, doesn't he?
Yeah, he looked like he played about 15 finals the other night. He almost took responsibility on his own shoulders in the third quarter there to get us going out of the centre bounces, and you know, his strength in the contests, his ability to get those little sharp handballs out of congestion, just amazing really, and so pleased for him that he's up and going again. You know, we missed him in the early part of the year. It's taken him a few weeks to hit his straps, but I think he's in good form right now. The player that you must love him, it's Dane Zorko, but he was shut down, and sometimes when a player gets shut down, he can be wiped out for the entire game. Oh, it's not my day, I'm not going to work hard. You must have been just so admirable of the way Zorko said, right, I haven't had a great period here, but I can still impact the game. 2 goals late. He was enormous late. Oh, he was. He played a tremendous game for us, and he's another one. He's had some disappointments across the years, and at times has been accused of lack of discipline and losing the plot a little bit. And there was a moment in the second quarter where we had the ball and he threw a Giants player to the ground, and they got the ball when we were looking like we were probably going to score. And I think his response was to play like that in the second half. You know, he just kept working hard, and the opportunities opened up for him, and he was able to squeeze in with his opponents at different times and score a couple of goals, which is unlikely from the half-back flank, but he got some good coverage from our wingman at that stage to allow him to do that. So fantastic effort by him. You know, he understands the importance of moments, and he's learnt the ability to move on quickly and, you know, not let what happens to him at one point in the game affect the rest of his game. So, you know, at the age of 35, he's shown the benefit of all those experiences.
Give us a little art of coaching on maybe an empathetic word on Ken Hinkley, and can you understand how it can grab you to that moment where Kenny has a moment that he says he would like back and he's apologised for? The gravity of it is in the eye of the beholder. What do you see in a moment like that, and do you know how that would happen?
Yeah, no, I could see, you know, the emotions run high. Port had copped a huge thrashing the week before. They were looking to bounce back, and they did. And obviously Ken used the comments made by Jack Ginnivan during the week, and you know, it can get the better of you at times. And the good part about it, I thought, was he apologised pretty quickly afterwards. He realised his error, and, you know, hopefully, you know, probably not my place to comment on this, but I'd be disappointed if one of my players put out a tweet that, you know, enabled the opposition coming up the next week to be motivated in some way. And, you know, finals come down to 1 and 2 percenters, and, you know, you never want to give your opposition any ammunition at all. So, you know, hopefully there's been learnings on both sides. Ken learnt pretty quickly, and, you know, hopefully for Jack Ginnivan's sake, he learns a lesson as well.
Fags, it's great to have you with us. Thanks a lot for your time tonight, and we'll see you in Melbourne on Saturday.
Yeah, great to talk, fellas. Thanks very much.
Good on you.
Fags.
Coach of the Brisbane Lions, Chris Fagan, who's destined for a prelim against the Cats.